Francis the Predator Ngannou is ranked #1 in the UFC heavyweight division. A tough fighter with a 15-3 record, including winning his past 4 fights over names like Blades, Velasquez, Dos Santos. The Predator has come a long way from those younger days in poverty in Cameroon. His success in UFC has opened other doors, and the latest is the one in the pantry. Ngannou is part of the PeaTos team. PeaTos is a revolutionary snack that tastes and crunches better than your favorite junk food. Think Cheetos and Funyuns without all the junk. No artificial ingredients, but yes, better nutrition. Thank you, Predator. Why did you decide to get involved with PeaTos?
Well, I decided to get with PeaTos because, as me, I think they are the #1 and the #1 snack and growing partner that we can grow together, and very organic and natural stuff in there.
What do you think of them and the taste?
As the taste?
Yes.
Well, so first of all, before everything, I had to taste first, even without knowing that we have to partnership. Then that was when I liked it, before my manager told me that there is an opportunity to sign up with them, to partner up with them, and to work up something, and to grow and have embrace the future together.
That's really good. So you tasted them first. Did you know that they were nutritious at first or until after you ate them?
No, I didn't know nothing at all about them. I just received a box of snacks. Then I'm like, well, just try. And I like it. And that's when my manager called me after. I'm like, okay, do you receive the PeaTos? Then he started going through the process about it. And yeah.
Have you shared them with other family, friends, fighters, and coaches?
Yes, I brought. I have a sparring partner who always come to the gym with his kids. He has about 4 kids. They are from 12 to 1 years old. And yes, I received a bunch of those. So in order to share with them, I proposed him, and he agreed that I can give someone. So I give some boxes to him, to his kids.
Did they give any feedback? How did they like them? I hope they liked them.
Right away. Because, when 1 year old see a box of cheese, he just want to try, and that's when they opened. We were still training, and the kids like it. I mean, actually, yes, the kids, they like it.
And who is the sparring partner? What is his name?
Kyle. I can't pronounce his last name, but his first name is Kyle.
Where do you spar? Where is the training facility and the name of the group that you're affiliated with for fighting?
At Xtreme Couture. Xtreme Couture MMA, right here in Las Vegas.
Oh, you're right in the heart of UFC territory. How long have you been there?
3 years now. A little over, yes, 3. I've been here for a little over 3 years now.
What is it about fighting that you enjoy?
The concepts of fighting, the mentality, is, for me, the philosophy of fighting is the same as the philosophy of life. Never give up, no matter what. You can fall over and over and end up achieve, make it to where you were going, or end up win the fight, no matter how many times you fail. So it's not how many times you fall, which matter, that is how many times you stand up. And that is the same concept in life. You know, fighting will teach you a lot of things in your everyday life, which is not just about fighting, but just living, just different approach of life, how to face challenge, adversity, how to overcome them, how to always look at different angle of things and see that sometimes there might not be as worse as you're thinking, and also to understand that it's going to be okay at some point. If you keep going, you're going to find a solution no matter what. You just have to keep striving, wrestling, you know, and at the end of the day, you always came up with something, even without where you took that, but you always come up with something. It's like when you step in the octagon, you don't know exactly what's going to happen. You know that, okay, you're prepared, you're ready, but your opponent is prepared and ready. You don't know if you're going to get hurt for the first round. You don't know if something is going to miss up, or if you're going to get sick, or you're going to break something, you know. So, but you keep seeing yourself, staying positive, like, okay, everything's going to be okay. Regardless, everything that can turn wrong, you tell yourself everything's going to be okay. You believe in it, you approach it like that, and sometimes something goes wrong, you don't even notice because you're so in your world, like thinking positively, that you can't even notice that. And that's what I love about fighting. You know, some people will see fighting like punching each other, like standing there and banging. But for me, I see him like a very smart sport. Who everyone might have his own zone is of comfort, and would like to take you to his zone of comfort, and you want to doubt his zone of comfort and bring him to your zone on comfort, you know, which is very clever.
Well, you were training to be a boxer, but then MMA came into the light, came into the mix, and you started to get training in MMA. Did you realize at first that you were really good at MMA, or did it take a while for you to understand or realize that, hey, I'm good at this?
Okay, so first of all, I didn't even train long for boxing. I wanted, but since I grew up in some place that I didn't have a chance to train, there wasn't a gym around for 50 miles around. There wasn't a gym and anything. But I always loved that. I wanted that until I went in France. Then I started. I started in Cameroon actually for like 1 year boxing. Then I went in France. Then I was trying to keep doing, and people like introduced me MMA. I'm like, okay, you have a skill set for MMA. You should try that. Then that's even when I knew what was MMA, because I didn't know before. When they said that, I'm like, okay, what is MMA? So they have to go all over the process of explanation to let me know what is MMA actually, because I didn't know.
Did they show you fights on TV or on YouTube and things like that just to show you too? Or is it more just showing you at the gym?
No, they just told me and started explaining me. And then after that, I went on YouTube by my own to check like what is MMA, to look about fighting. I have seen a MMA fight on TV, but wasn't even interested about that. So I just changed. I just switched. But when I went on YouTube, now that was on purpose of really understand what is MMA. Then I started watch fight, and I remember by the time I was watching fights like Junior Dos Santos versus Cain Velasquez, because they were like, that was the time that I think they have the trilogy fight, and it was either one of them was like a world champion, heavyweight world champion at the time. Then I started go to like fight like Alistair Overeem, Brock Lesnar, all those fights. But that was back in 2013, so just 7 years ago.
And then what was it like beating those guys? Because you beat Dos Santos, you beat Velasquez, you beat Overeem. You got victories over them. How do you just feel about that? Because you're doing so well.
Well, I feel some sort of satisfaction will make me happy and realize that I'm improving, I'm understanding exactly what is the sport, since that was what I knew them for, and I'm there. I was there with them in the octagon, just to be in the octagon to fight with those people. Is something like very huge. Either the result was a win or a loss. Just being there himself was something big. Then you have the plus on top of that, which is the victory, which make it bigger again. But at the end of the day, I still don't. I'm so happy about that, but personally, I'm not achieved, because since day one, since I stepped there, my dream, my goal from the beginning was to become a world champion. And as long as I'm not the long age world champion, I think I will not fully be satisfied, and I can't allow myself to just get settled.
And with that, Francis, do you know when you're going to be fighting again, and when a title opportunity might present itself, when UFC will have you fight for the title?
We are targeting March, but nothing official yet.
How has it been for you during the pandemic and just training and preparing? Has there been any differences for you? You last fought in May, another victory to go to 15-3 in Jacksonville. I believe that was a special show because, Francis, am I correct? That was the first UFC show after the break from the pandemic for everybody? No? Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
What was it like being a part of that show and preparing for that show? And did you have to prepare any differently or just be safer during the pandemic?
Yes, definitely. The gym, all gym were closed. So, and then it was like in the middle of the pandemic. So you have to be careful. You have to protect yourself from people out there. But at the meantime, you have to be prepared, because you can't go fighting without training just because you're afraid of getting sick. So it was some sort of dilemma. You have to choose which weapon will kill you.
Yeah, that is true.
Since like everywhere, either way was dangerous. So either it's fighting without training was dangerous, or to train during the pandemic was dangerous. You have to choose something.
And it's interesting because now the heavyweight champ is Stipe, and you have fought him before, and he did defeat you before. Does that give you extra motivation to beat him, or is it just because that he is the champion? That's enough motivation.
He's the champion. I fought him before. I know exactly what he's capable of. I know what was the hole in my game. I know what I didn't do well. I mean, like right away, I figure out everything that didn't go well. So yes, I'm more confident. I mean, not overconfident, but I'm more confident now that I fought him before.
And to be fair, that was in 2018. And you've had some big fights since then and had some big victories since then as well. So you are an improved and growing fighter in that regard. So it will be interesting if the fight does get made for March. It will be, whenever it gets made, it will be a really big event. What is it like for your family and friends to watch you on TV or see you on social media or wherever they can, or if they even get to come to a fight and see you there and just be able to watch in your success?
No, they can't come to my fight because they are in Cameroon and it's not easy. Nobody have come yet, but you know, he's something like very huge because from here we don't really understand. But I came from a very small village in Cameroon, like on poverty, and this was something like unbelievable. I remember, like at first, as I just mentioned, like my dream of becoming a boxer. They treated me like I was losing my mind, like I was crazy because nobody from a zone like that never did such a thing, never get even close. Even those from the city who has a better chance in Africa never get close to something like that. So it was so like hilarious to come up with those type of dream, ambition, and there was like blaming me of just having those dreams because it wasn't what a guy like me from where I am should have be having.
But now that you've done it, I mean, now they must all be everyone must be pretty happy about it because you did it, you're doing it.
Oh, absolutely. Like they are all happy in the village, in the country, because they have one of their own, which is in the front line for them. You know, like imagine they never imagine that they never believed that somebody will come from there to be at the world class level, you know. So it's very motivating for some people too, because they also understand that it's never too late and dream is never too big when you believe at it and do what you should be doing.
And I would imagine too, especially the young children, that you've inspired the young children there, because when you come from a small area, you're right, it's hard, and people are like, oh, no one's going to be able to do something big like that from here. And then here you are doing that. Where did you get your motivation? Where did you get your inspiration? Did you always have that when you were little to be something big, something more? Or did that happen watching somebody? Just how did that happen for you to be able to say, I want to do something big, I want to be something big?
I mean, it was just my dream. Like I was little from where I was. You know, it wasn't. We didn't have TV. You couldn't even like watch stuff on TV. No news. But from time to time, passing by somewhere, you can hear from a radio station. But it's not something that we have chance of you know, and but I think it's a gift that I have of always believing in it, always believing in myself, like have a different way of seeing things, you know, and never give up.
And then it's interesting because when you then went to France and you said you didn't spend much time with boxing, but it was become a boxer. Obviously, you went to France because there was no fighting. There was nothing in Cameroon. So you had to go somewhere else. Am I correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Like from Cameroon, I knew that from Cameroon I didn't have any chance. So I wanted to go somewhere that I would have more opportunity. Obviously, I wanted to go to England, but it wasn't easy. But when I get in the Schengen, so I just decided to stay there and find my opportunity. So it can end up to lead me where I really want to be, like to my dream country, which is the US.
And that's interesting because I was going to ask, that's something I wanted to ask. Did you pick France just because that was an easier place to get to, other than, like you mentioned, England, which I didn't know? Was it just easier to get to France and do something there?
No, it wasn't easy to get in France. Like so we kind of moved like a, how do they call that? Like a Mormon. I think that's how they say it. So I just leave Cameroon and just work, take bus country after country until I get in France, until I get in Morocco, and from Morocco I finally made it to Spain after years of trying, you know, and that's how I wanted to even go in Germany, because boxing was doing well in Germany by the time, but I didn't, and I wasn't worried about the language barrier, because I knew that sport doesn't have problem with language. But for some reason, because I was with friends, with people that I met on the trip, I stopped by France, and I met a guy, and you know, things started to put himself together, and I finally stayed there.
Yeah.